Alright, so I'm putting this at the beginning of the video because I forgot about them. These are some black Japanese tree fillet. I picked this green because it fell off the tree, the vine, by mistake, so it's ripening kind of funny, but it's still in good shape. This is a good one here. This is what they should look like. This color, that's a good tomato there. These are some kind of beefsteak. I really can't remember what variety of beef. I think it might have just been a straight beefsteak tomato, but a lot of cat facing there, which is fine, not a big deal. And then I got these. These are called large cherry. Surprise! Large red cherry. And then I have some black cherries, which I've been watching Bearfruit Gardening. Bearfruit Gardening? Is that it? Gardener? Oh my goodness. No, I don't remember. Anyway, she has been on her channel just singing the praises of black cherry. I've been growing these for years, and I actually haven't been appreciating them as much as I should. But she's just in love, head over heels. They are a beautiful, delicious cherry, to be honest. This is one of my husband's favorite cherries. He likes these a lot. So I remember making salad last year, and he really was like, wow, what kind of tomatoes are those? Very juicy, really have a good, good rich flavor. The only downside is that they do kind of go bad quickly, so you have to eat them soon after you pick them. And I'm trying to see. Yeah, these are all still good. You know, when you find oh, here's a one. Do you see that funny like round difference? That there's rot, so just watch out for that kind of stuff, because you'll bite into that and it'll be like, yuck! Anyway. Alright, on to the rest. Alright, so I got all kinds of interesting things to report today. First of all, I think I got all the last of my onions. These over here are Dakota Tears. These came from the garden across the street, and they're all just these little tiny onions that just didn't really get very big at all. I don't think that they're supposed to be this small. It's just something about that particular site that I don't know. I thought that I basically fertilized them the same as the other onions, you know, from the 4th Street Garden. These came from the 4th Street Garden. They came out a good size in comparison. These are Spanish yellow onions, and these are Rosa di Milano. Yikes, no, I can't push it back. Oh, there it goes. Alright, so I'm just putting these here to cure for a few days, and then I'm gonna string them up. In the meantime, hey, what's going on over here? I just put this corn down, so she wants to eat the husk. Anyway, so as you can see, I have a bunch of tomatoes that I picked. I picked these on Sunday. Today's Tuesday, and so I think it's time to make paste, which is my favorite way to preserve tomatoes. I don't like to make sauce because ultimately I just end up making, you know, trying to amend it. You know, I always like the fresher ingredients. So I like the fresh onions, the fresh basil, you know. I'm not really too fond of pre-cooked sauce. Anyway, I'm just in love with these orange bananas. This color is amazing. Honestly, I haven't tried to make tomato paste out of these yet. So I think I may make tomato paste with these tangerine oranges and with these orange bananas. You know, just make like an orange paste. And I got a bunch of my Japanese tree fillet tomatoes. These are like my favorites. I can't go a year without growing these. These are very meaty. The skin is a little tough, but you know, if you just you can spit out the skin. That's what I normally do. I like to eat these fresh, just right off the vine. But they're good for slicing. Slice them up. I guess if I slice it, I take off the skin most of the time. But they're good on a sandwich, on a BLT. It's really nice. Just good for sauce, you know. Good for sauce. I'm gonna, you know, when I make the paste, I'm just gonna take all the red ones together and make. Jeez, girl. Now she wants me to pet her. Okay. Yes. You're a good girl. You're a good girl. Anytime I'm over here on this particular corner of the table, she wants me to pet her, so maybe this is the wrong place to try and make a video. Anyway, let's try and finish this up. Shall we? Please, girl. Dag. This is one of the roses that I filmed in that last video. So it's the one with the short stem. I put into this little bud vase. Holy cow, Journey, you're being difficult. Alright, I'm gonna kick you off the table. Bye. Get out of here. Go on with you. Alright, so like I said in that video, I'm just gonna keep this here for maybe a day or two. It's pretty well faded, so maybe just till tomorrow. Meanwhile, so these are Rutgers tomatoes. This one's pretty badly cat-faced, but you know, you cut off that bad stuff and you know, you have a pretty delicious tomato. And Rutgers tomatoes are my favorite to grow. They're pretty good. They're very tasty. Not as good as a Japanese tree fillet, but they're very tasty, very sweet, have a good balanced flavor. They're fairly easy to grow, particularly in the New Jersey area. They're made by Rutgers for New Jersey growers. So yeah, so they're pretty well adapted to this area. I mean, I can't vouch for any other part of the country, but they're pretty well adapted to at least New York, New Jersey area, Pennsylvania. This is, and it makes a good, you know, it's a good all-around tomato. It's good for sauce, it's good for slicing, it's good for putting in salad. It's good eating fresh, you know, straight off the vine. And let me mention the cat facing has to do with when you water, you go for long periods of time of dry, you know, you go through a nice dry spell, and then all of a sudden you get a lot of water. So in this case, you know, in my community garden, there's a lot of rain. I mean, I'm sorry, there's long periods of time when they may not get any water. Sometimes, you know, my garden nemesis actually, he might water all the plots at the garden, but he may or may not water mine, depending on his mood, I guess. So I may go for long periods of time with nothing, and then all of a sudden you get a nice good water, either watering from him or from the sky. So that's when you get the cracking. So I've got a lot of cracking, you know, my tomatoes here. This one's tangerine. It's got a hole there too, so I gotta use these up quick. And also with the cracking, if you get the cracking, you must use these quickly, because this is basically wounding. As you can see, you can kind of see in there. So, you know, disease, molds, all kinds of stuff can get in there, and it'll rot out your tomato before you get a chance to even think about eating it. So you pick these and you keep a good close eye on them, but you try to use them as quickly as possible. So yeah, so anyway, so I got this delicious, beautiful Amish paste. They're not very productive, it seems, the Amish paste. I mean, they get really big, and they make these amazing tomatoes that don't make a lot of seeds, so I'm surprised that they're not more expensive to buy, the seeds. I might be able to get about 30 seeds out of this particular fruit. The meat is just like dense meat, almost no seed cavity, very, very few seeds. It's basically the same thing with these orange bananas, actually. They really don't have a lot of seeds in them too. It's not as bad as this one, but these have few seeds as well, which isn't a good thing and a bad thing, you know. But it's a bad thing because when you're trying to save the seeds, then you don't have a lot to save. But you know, if it's a productive variety like this one, then it's fine. But then this one is not very productive. So yeah, you get so few seeds, so few fruits. Anyway, whatever. This is another Rutgers. And this amazing beauty is Jersey Devil. The seeds are courtesy of Catherine from my Hillside Garden. Now, I do not remember when I looked at her videos that her tomatoes were striped. I saw videos of her tomatoes from last year, and I asked her if she could let me have some seeds, and she was very happy to do so. And she sent me actually the original seed packet that it came from. I think it was Johnny's seeds. I want to say it's Johnny's. But anyway, I don't remember the fruit being striped, but this is fine. I mean, I don't know. I don't really care. Whatever it is, it's a beautiful fruit. It's beautiful. I don't really know anything about it. I actually have to look it up. And this is the only one I've got so far, so I think that this may be not so productive variety, just like the Amish paste. But we shall see. Oh, I'm sorry for my finger. Okay, so now let's look at these. These are called pink purple. I mean, look at that color. Beautiful. So I was watching a video by Bearfruit Gardening. It was actually a live video. I didn't get to watch it live, but I watched it afterwards. And she was cutting up some tomatoes and sampling them. And she had a big tomato. I think it was Kellogg's Breakfast or something like that. But it was covered in these kind of spots. And somebody, while she was making the video, said that it's what do you call it? Stink bug damage. So I don't know. I've never had that before. So I think that that's what we got here. So I've never seen any kind of spots like this before. So in any case, I'll just cut that off, and guess what? These tomatoes are delicious. Delicious. They are so good. They even, I hate to say it, they even outrival this Japanese tree fillet. They're like a little sweeter than these, a lot juicier. The skin is not tough, and I think it's just more. It's more fruits, right? So you have more. I don't know. It's just more meat. It doesn't have a lot of seeds. Just a lot of meat, a lot of juiciness. Delicious tomato. So as you can tell, it's kind of like, I guess this would sort of qualify as like a, you know, like in the black tomato category. It's called pink purple, so I don't know. I guess purple, so whatever. But I got this from, I think the seed nursery is called Nichols Seed. Ooh, I don't remember. I want to say this is totally wrong, but I want to call it Nichols Seed and Poultry Conservatory, because they they sell heirloom seeds, and they also raise heritage poultry. So that's what they do. So I'm gonna look it up, and I'm gonna try to remember to put it into the description box so that you might look it up too. But anyway, these seeds are delicious, and I've had these seeds for years and years and years, and I just wasn't thinking about growing them. Somebody gave me a bunch of seeds, like, I don't know, like 20 years ago, and for some reason, well, I got a bunch of different tomatoes, different kinds of tomatoes that were either pink, or they were like pink purple, or they were like, I think that they're the ones that gave them names, so they're very uncreative. So everything was pink this or purple that. So I was like, okay, well, whatever. I'm just gonna plant this pink tomato this year, or that purple tomato that year. And so I finally got around to planting this pink purple, and man, I was really astounded by this. This also is a variety that came from the same seed company. I want to say this is what they call Eldorot or Eldorot. I call it Everlasting because these tomatoes, or at least when I grew them last year, they get kind of ripe. They get to this point, like pink, and they don't get any riper, but they don't go bad. They just kind of hang on. So they're like a good storage tomato. I think that probably, I don't remember how long I had. I want to say it was like a couple of months that I held on to one of these and just watching them to see how long they would go before they would go bad. It never did go bad. I just cut it open. It wasn't the tastiest tomato, but I want to say that if you grow these, you probably will be able to keep, tomatoes up until October, maybe even November. And who knows, maybe December if you bother to try. I would say you need to wrap them up in newspaper and just keep them someplace dry and dark, and they'll hold on. They'll store well. That's how you're supposed to store storage tomatoes. So I don't know, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm gonna try and see about these. There's some more on the vine, so yeah. So anyway, gosh, this video is getting too long. So I wanted to talk about these Martian Jewel corn. I grew these in the garden across the street. It's supposed to be a sweet corn, but when I tried tasting it, it was not sweet at all. It was hard, and all of the corns that I tried were hard, past. They just didn't look like they were gonna ever be sweet corn. And then this one was in the mix. This is actually just the second one that I picked. There's some others that are still hanging on the stalk, so I gotta go collect them maybe next week, maybe 2 weeks from now. But this looks just like a regular I want to say flower corn, type of flower corn. I would normally you would say ornamental. Yeah, you could call this ornamental, but for me, when people say ornamental, they mean non-edible. But all corn is edible, even if it's ornamental. So yeah, this is gonna dry. It's gonna dry nicely, and I will grind it into some kind of cornmeal and make cornbread out of it. And then I want to show you, last but not least, these Chimayo peppers. These are heirloom Mexican. This is what they make chili powder out of. You dry these. The skin is very, very thin, so they dry easily. They dry well. Most of the time when you try drying peppers, like air drying like this, they end up being a little moldy on the inside, but these never go moldy. They stay nice and dry, and you know, they dry well. So, and they do make good chili powder. It's hot though. It's not like the kind of stuff that you buy at the supermarket. This is gonna be hot.